All right. What's up? What's up? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Do I sound good? All right, I think I sound beautiful. What is crack-a-lacking, everybody? This is Tech G in the place to be. I'm coming to you live and direct from the great state of Florida, where there is currently a hurricane barreling its way towards the Gulf Coast. Now, I live in Central Florida, so to my knowledge, we're not going to experience the full power of this thing. Right now, we're just dealing with the outer bands of the hurricane. So it's kind of windy. And I'm looking out my window right now. It's actually getting real cloudy out there, like it's about to start thunderstorming, which is weird because I hear somebody outside cutting the grass right now. But anyway, so that's what's going on down here in Florida, dealing with hurricanes and all that wonderful stuff. And then by tomorrow, once this hurricane passes through, it's going to be like 1,000 degrees outside, right? Which is nothing but sun all up and down in your face. All right. Anyways, I want to talk about Gen Z employees, right? So, in case you guys haven't heard, let me pull my screen shares up real quick. I want to talk about these Gen Zers out here and how horrible of employees y'all are. All right. All right, let me make sure everybody can see this wonderful screen of mine. All right, so is a story I came across or I heard about yesterday talking about how companies are firing Generation Z employees. Now, to my knowledge, Gen Zs, I believe these are young people born sometime after the year 2000, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, my oldest son, who's 18, he's a part of this category right here. And then his younger brother, I think, is like Gen Alpha or something like that, but whatever. Anyways, I want to read to y'all, what's going on out here in the workforce, because apparently Gen Z employees, y'all are horrible employees, according to this article right here. And let me just say this. I kind of believe it to a certain extent. I kind of believe it. What's cracking, JM? Are they firing millennials too? I don't think they're really. So I would imagine it depends on, are you an early millennial or are you a late millennial, right? Because me, I was born in 1980. So I'm like Gen X / millennial. So anybody that was born like the early 80s, I don't think they're really getting fired to the degree that the reasons that are being listed in this article where these people are getting fired. If you're a late millennial, which I believe is somebody born in like the mid 90s, if I'm not mistaken, where you kind of bleed over into Gen Z, yeah, you might be in this category as well. Shout out to Uncut Underground. It says no more based and lit workers. Yeah, I don't know what that means in reference to this, but anyways, let's go ahead and figure out why they're getting rid of y'all, because apparently a lot of y'all suck out there if you're part of Gen Z, right? And I tend to believe it a little bit. So let's go check this out. It says companies are rapidly firing Gen Z employees just months after they hired them, according to a new report from intelligent.com. It says, but instead of putting the blame on Gen Zers, one expert told Newsweek whose fault it may really be. So I actually know of this to be true, right? So in case you guys don't know, I'm a college professor, right? I teach IT, cybersecurity, do some stuff at a tech college where we train people how to get into IT and cybersecurity. And part of what I do for a living, aside from teaching these people all these critical 21st century skill sets, is I write resumes for people. I do, mock interviews. I do all this wonderful stuff. So recently, I've actually had people who've gone through my training in real life. They've gone out there, successfully interviewed, got a job. And we're talking about Gen Zers here. And then I want to say within a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, these Gen Zers quit their job. Now, I don't know the specific reason as to why they quit, although I do have my suspicions as to why they quit, but I actually see this stuff happening in real time, all right, where these Gen Zers are getting hired and fired in a relatively short amount of time. Article goes on to say, it says the survey revealed that 1 in 6 businesses said they were hesitant to hire recent college graduates, over concerns about how prepared they are for the work, as well as their communication skills and professionalism. All right. So if you guys don't know, if you're not really around these Gen Zers on a regular basis, like I am, there is a significant difference in their communication skills and as a relate, compared up against millennials and Gen Xers and baby boomers and all that stuff. Gen Zers, they hold up, something's happened on my phone. Oh, there we go. Gen Zers, for some reason, they really do not like to talk to people. And then when they do talk to people, they struggle to maintain eye contact. They're always whispering, they're looking at the ground. Like I was dealing with a student the other day, and this student came up to me asking me a question, and they're like literally like, 2 feet away from me, and I couldn't even hear anything that they were saying. They were speaking so low. But it's weird because when they go out and they start interacting amongst their friends or college or whoever, they'll be screaming and yelling to the top of their lungs. But in a professional setting, they're like all shy and timid. And this is all of them. I've yet to come across, I ain't gonna say all of them, but I would say probably about 99% of them. I rarely come across a young Gen Zer who's just they just got this confidence oozing from their skin to where when they speak to you, they hit you with the strong eye contact. They give you a nice firm handshake and not hit you with the limp wrist. And they speak up and project. All of them just love to just stare at the ground and whisper. And look, my oldest son, he does this, and I constantly have to get on my oldest son about this. My oldest son, when I get to talking to him and asking him about what's going on in his life right now, as far as his education, because he's in college right now, man, he just gets to whispering and I'm just like, bro, you cannot do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because my son is involved in martial arts, right? He does some Korean style martial arts and he does jujitsu. And when he goes to practice, and I'll sit there and watch him in practice, oh, he's yelling to the top of his lungs, right? Everybody can understand everything he's saying when he over there rolling around on the mats, sparring his opponents. You can hear every word crystal clear. But when I pulled him to the side to talk to him on some grown man stuff about what he needs to be doing as an 18-year-old, an adult, quote unquote adult, he just gets to whispering. And it's not because it's an intimidation factor because I'm his father. This is just like a common trait amongst the whole generation that I've seen. And I don't know if it's due to them having their faces glued to a smart social media tablet, some type of social media application or whatever the case may be. But I'm even dealing with this with my own child, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Goes on to say, it says, and a whopping 6 in 10 employers had already fired college grads who were hired in 2024. It says 1 in 7 said they might refrain from hiring new college grads next year as well. So you got 6 out of 10, 60% of employers are already firing these Gen Zers who are hired just this year. All right. It's crazy. The survey looked at responses from nearly 1,000 business leaders in August who revealed a strong skepticism from companies about how worthwhile Gen Zers are as employees. Goes on to say, many recent college grads may struggle with entering the workforce for the first time, as it can be a huge contrast from what they are used to throughout their education journey. This is from some guy named whatever. It says they are often unprepared for a less structured environment, workplace cultural dynamics, and the expectations of autonomous work. It says, although they may have some theoretical knowledge from college, they often lack the practical real world experience and soft skills required to succeed in the work environment. So basically what this is saying is that these students suck at just, I ain't gonna say students, but these people, they essentially just suck at social skills in general, right? One, a lot of these people go to college, and look, I'm not knocking college. Everybody knows I went to college. I got 3 college degrees and all that wonderful stuff. But I went to college back in 1998, right? Long before social media and the internet was really a thing like it is to the degree that it is today. Um, Colleges today, from my understanding, outside of tech colleges, I should say, but your traditional universities, these are just places where it's just a it's just like a hangout setting, right? Where you go there, make friends, party, and major in some BS that's probably going to, have you working at Walmart, ringing up groceries or something like that. My personal philosophy when it comes to college, if you're not majoring in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, I don't know exactly what you're doing in college these days, right? Now, even if you are majoring in STEM, if you're not trying to get some type of internship, trying to get some type of job within the field so that you can build your experience to match your college degree, I don't know exactly what you're doing in college because you can go. I know people that went to college. Some of them got engineering degrees, math degrees, all the hard science type of stuff. But in school, I don't recall them ever doing some type of internship or whatever. Matter of fact, I know one guy in particular, right? He went to college for math. Man, this dude can do everything. Algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, derivative equations. You put a math formula in front of him, he will figure out how to travel back in the time on a freaking whiteboard with some damn markers, right? He'll put an equation together for that. But what does he do professionally right now? My man's works at an Apple store helping people, set up their iPhones. Now, I'm not knocking that or anything because he got a job, he's doing what he got to do. But he, when we were in college, he was all about partying, pledging to fraternities, smoking weed. And man, that's one thing about this dude. Let me tell you something. So this dude, I remember in college, is a cat from DC. He would love to get high smoking weed, right? And he would have the music blasting in his dorm room, listening to go-go music. And so he stayed like 4 or 5 rooms down the hall from me, and I can smell it and I can hear the music. Sometimes I would go over there and engage in the activities. I'm not even going to front. I will go over there and participate in the activities every now and then. But the thing is, I knew that when I participated in those activities, I either got hungry or sleepy. That was it. I couldn't focus and do nothing else. He would go into this trance where he would just break out his math books and just start doing his homework, listening to go-go music, blasting. He got you got the high-speed cigarettes in the rotation. It could be 4 or 5 dudes in there, and he's in there doing calculus homework and getting straight A's. It blew my mind. I couldn't comprehend it. I was like, how is this even possible? But regardless of all that, he graduates straight A's. Like I say, he's partying, doing the frats, the whole shebang. But last time I checked on him, he's working at an Apple store. And like I say, once again, no shade to the brother, nothing like that. But he never really applied his arty smarts from that degree towards something that I personally think is could be more meaningful other than helping people, troubleshoot basic iPhone issues on their phone. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion on that, right? But anyways, what else this thing says? It says many college grads are struggling to enter the workforce for the first time, as it could be a huge contrast from what they are used to throughout their education journey. So a lot of these youngins coming up through elementary school, high school, some of them venturing off into college, these institutions, they don't really, in my opinion, they don't really train young people how to think and use their brains to solve problems and all that wonderful stuff. A lot of these youngins, they are basically, in my opinion, being programmed to follow directions and not necessarily just follow directions, but they're being programmed to memorize stuff, but not really truly understand why they're memorizing stuff, as opposed to them learning how to comprehend information, put pieces of the puzzle together so they can go out there and do something successful with their life. And like I said, I see this all the time. Like I say, I see traits of it with my own son, which is a constant struggle with him, even though, my son ain't all screwed up and nothing like that. But I see this reflected in him to a certain extent. And I see this reflected amongst a lot of these youngins that I got to deal with at my job, right? They don't know how to critically think, man. They're always looking for somebody to provide them the answer. So, like I say, I teach IT and cybersecurity, right? I help people get A plus certified, Network plus certified, Security plus, CCNA. You know, I do all this stuff that funnels people into either a networking career, a cloud career, or a cybersecurity career, right? That's what I do. For those of y'all who sign up for my training on my website, that's what I do basically. You know what I'm saying? So I've taken my business. Anyways, that's what I do for my business as well. One of the things that I do with these students is after I go through and I explain what I got to explain, my aim is to try to get these students to think, right? When I put a problem up, right? They have a problem, they have a scenario. I need you to go out there and solve it. And one of the things I like to sit back and do is watch them struggle, whine, cry, and complain until they kind of figure out what's going on. Because one of the things they like to do, they'll go over there, try to solve a problem. 5 minutes into it, they're boohoo, whining, and crying. Then they're calling me to come over there and solve the problem. Sometimes I'll go over there, depending upon what it is, and I'll solve the issue in like 5 seconds because I already know what the hell's going on. But the thing is, I'm trying to get these students to think, because what it is, they're going to find themselves working in work environments, especially as it relates to tech. They're going to find themselves in these environments one day where they might be the only tech person at the company, or you might be the only tech person on call that day, or you might, you know, whatever the case may be. And everybody is looking at you to solve this damn problem, right? Whether you know how to do it or not. And you're going to have to learn how to put your brain into overdrive, you know, and go out there and figure out how are you going to solve this problem so that the company can hopefully, you know, stay open for business so you can collect a paycheck at the end of the day. I constantly try to train my students on that. And it's an everyday struggle to get them to unlock their brains because, you know, the weird thing is, if I put a video game system in front of them and told them, hey, I need you to go out here and beat this video game, or how can you, you know, if something's blocked on our company website, you know, they'll be like, oh, well, I know how to get access to this VPN and we can go here and do this, that. They'll figure all that crap out, right? When it's something of interest to them. But when it comes to something that can get them paid and get them out of their mommy and daddy's house to where they can be on a track to making like $75,000 to $100,000 or whatever the case may be, all of a sudden their brains turn off and they act like they don't know how to solve problems. And it's the weirdest thing that I see all the time, but this is just a part of this generation. Because I also deal with older students. As a matter of fact, one of my older students came by and saw me yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before, right? Dude named Carlos. Carlos, he's a former DEA agent, right? I think he had got retired from the force because he got shot one time or something. He also has a PhD, and I think he's in his late 30s. Anyways, we crossed paths about 4 or 5 years ago, and he was just learning IT. Knew nothing about computers. He all he knew how to do was just turn a computer on and watch a YouTube video. He knew nothing about IT like that. Fast forward to the present day, just 4 years later, he works at a hospital in the area. He's a security engineer for the hospital, IT security engineer. And he also started up his own business, his MSP, where he goes around helping small businesses like lawyers and doctors managing their little IT infrastructures, basically, you know, doing little backups for them, upgrading their systems. And anytime they got to deal with a hacker or something, he'd go down there and fix the crap. And his business generated, he said, he was telling me the other day, he generated $500,000 last year just off of his side business, aside from doing his job. Because I think his job at the hospital, I think he said he makes about $160,000 a year. So getting paid. So we're talking about a dude that started, who knew nothing about IT 4 years ago, started off in the help desk. After we were done training him, he went and got him a help desk job immediately, because I told him that's the easiest thing you can do. Just go get a help desk job, work there for a few months, and throw your resume back out there. So he did exactly what I told him to do. I think he worked at the help desk for like 3 months. And then he went and applied for another job. Anyways, he moved up the chain. Now he's a security engineer at his company, doing whatever the hell he does at the hospital. And he started up his own company on the side that's doing, you know, $500,000 a year in business, just working with private companies, managing their little computers at their offices and stuff like that. So, but this is an older guy. that, you know what I'm saying, not too much younger than me, but he comes from that generation of, learning how to use his brain and be creative with it versus these youngins. Because I had him talking to these younger people. When I say younger people, I'm talking about people that are like 20, 21, 22 years old. Some of them fresh, some of them still live with their parents, some of them just graduated college. That demographic right there. So I'm having them talk to them. And of course, when you start throwing out the terms $500,000, $100,000 a year, all of a sudden they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. But then I tell them, hey, this is what you have to do to get that. And this is what he did to get to that. And all of a sudden we put them back on them problems and them scenarios. All right, go configure this network right here and get it to do this, that, and the third. All of a sudden their brains kind of turn off. You know what I'm saying? Their brains turn off. It's like, bruh, if I told you to go in there and show me how to I'm not a video gamer, but if I was like, go in there and show me how to build a Minecraft world or something like that, I'm pretty sure you can write a whole freaking doctoral thesis on this damn thing. Like, that's just how their brains work, right? Anyways, it says they are unprepared for a less structured environment, workplace, cultural dynamics, and the expectations of autonomous work. Although they may have some theoretical knowledge from college, they often lack practical real-world experience and soft skills required to succeed in work. And that's another thing with these soft skills, right? So I always tell my students, those my online students through my business or those that I deal with through my job, but especially those that I deal with through my job, because like I say, these are mostly younger adults. Like I say, anywhere between the ages of like 18 about 25-ish is most of the people that I deal with. They can learn the hard skills. I mean, they can go out there, learn what they got to learn and get certified. But the soft skill part, oh my goodness, man, it's like it's like speaking a foreign language to some of them. It's like some of them really just don't really comprehend this idea that when you go sit down and do a job interview, yes, it is important for you to have the skills. It is important for you to have whatever relevant certification that you might have to have. But the most important part of the whole job interview is convincing people to like you enough to hire you, because you could be the best at doing this, that, and the third. But if you have a crappy attitude, or if you didn't brush your teeth, go in there and slap. Listen, I actually have to have these conversations with Gen Zers, right? I actually have to tell Gen Zers, I'm like, hey, man, because I don't know if you guys notice this. Go if you around some high school people, like you got a high school next to you, or you got a bunch of high schoolers that live in your neighborhood, because I got a bunch of them that live in my neighborhood, right? Look at how they dress when they go to school. A lot of them literally look like they just rolled out of bed in their pajamas. They don't even comb or brush their hair, and they just go to class. They go to class in their freaking Crocs, their freaking slippers, their house shoes. They literally look like they rolled out of bed. And I be telling people, I'm like, man, back in the 90s when I was in high school, man, it was a mission to be fresh to death going to school. Your clothes had to be crisp, iron. You got to have your J's, your Polo, your Tommy, whatever the hell we was rocking back then, right? We wanted to be fresh to death as soon as we stepped out of that house, because we knew it was choosing season out there if we was out there trying to holler at the honeys and all that stuff. These youngins today, males and females, man, they just roll out of bed and go to class. The high school kids, the college kids, they all just look homely. I guess is the best way to. And right now I'm sitting in my house and I got on some freaking basketball shorts and a black t-shirt and my freaking Crocs, but I'm in my house, right? Even though I probably could have, whatever, I'm in my house. If I were to go to my job or go to the store, I'm gonna put on something a little bit more decent. You know what I mean? They don't believe in any of that crap. Like, once again, I'll talk about my son, right? I love my son to death. My son has this fascination with slides and Crocs. I'm talking about he wear them things anywhere. So I remember he graduated high school a couple months ago, and we was going to the store. I was going to the store to buy him a suit, and we was looking at some shoes. My son asked me, he was like, "Hey, Dad, how come I can't just wear my slides?" I'm like, "Bruh, you are graduating from high school. You know what I'm saying? We done got your hair done. You got your hair all nicely braided up. I done spent God knows how much money on your outfit and your suit. You ain't putting no damn slides on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You will have some damn dress shoes on. They ain't got to be no hard bottom old school church shoes, but you're gonna have some decent looking shoes for the occasion. But anyways, this is just how they like to dress. They like to look all lackadaisical. And I keep telling people, I'm like, listen, all of this ties into your soft skills ability, because legally these companies cannot discriminate against you based off of race, gender, sexual orientation, all the stuff that we know that they can't discriminate against you off of. But if you come into a job interview looking like you just woke up, yes, I can legally discriminate against you, because you don't represent the image that I want represented at my company as far as the way you dress is concerned. Or if you come in there smelling like hot Cheetos or whatever, I'm just not gonna. I don't know how well that job interview is going to work, but anyways, you try explaining this to youngins, they just don't seem to comprehend this. At least in my travels, they just don't seem to comprehend that. Listen, B, it's great that you know all this stuff. You know how to do this, that, and the third. But my man's, I'm gonna need for you to go out there and you know what I'm saying, learn how to dress professionally, or at least business casual, and put some damn black socks on with them damn hard bottom church shoes or something. They got on some damn Nike socks. Anyways, it's crazy as hell. But these are just the things that's going on with these Gen Zs. Goes on to say, and because Gen Z already has a stereotype of being lazy, I just said this, or uncooperative in the workplace, employers might be primed to find problems with the generation of workers that is adapting to full-time jobs for the first time. All right. Goes on to say, it can be easy for managers to buy into typical stereotypes of Gen Z and dismiss them entirely. It says, however, companies have an equal responsibility to prepare recent graduates for their particular workplace and give them the best chance to succeed. All right. So I somewhat agree with this statement, maybe 50-50. My thing is, if you're a young person out there, you need to be going to these companies as prepared as much as you can possibly get yourself prepared to succeed, instead of you relying upon these companies to do everything in their power to get you successful. Meaning, if you're applying for a job and you look at the job posting and it says, hey, you need to know this, that, and the third, right? And you're like, well, I don't know this, that, and the third. Well, what is stopping you from going online to go take a course to learn this, that, and the third, or at least reading up on it, watching some videos on this, that, and the third, so you can have some type of familiarity with whatever the heck it is that they're talking about. So when you go into the job interview, you can at least have a halfway decent conversation about this, that, and third, as opposed to you going into a job interview or even starting a job and just expecting them to completely just train you on everything. Yes, these jobs will train you on stuff and how they do certain things, yada, yada, yada. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, these youngins, they don't seem to have much motivation, desire, and initiative as it relates to the workplace in terms of investing in themselves to better themselves, right? Trying to keep up with the trends on their own, instead of waiting for somebody to tell them what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. These youngins, they want to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And then when you tell them all that, a lot of them are going to try to figure out a way to avoid doing all that so they can come back and cry and play victim of some sorts later on. Like, that's what's going on with a lot of these youngins. It says across the board, 75% of companies reported that some or all of their recent college graduate hires were unsatisfactory. It says employers most often cited a lack of motivation in their recent graduate hires at 50%, while 39% said poor communication skills, and 46% said a lack of professionalism made this cohort difficult to work with. All right. It says, but according to HR consultant, whatever this guy's name is, it says the problem likely isn't Gen Z, but instead the larger educational system. It says, as someone who went through years of education, including law school, I can tell you this: colleges are not preparing students for the real world. All right. And that is true. Once again, these people, a lot of these youngins are just going to college because it's expected. This is what mommy and daddy told them to do. And look, I have these constant debates with my own parents, right? So my parents, they're in their 60s, right? Somewhere in their 60s. Back in their day, college was a big deal in the 70s and 80s. I mean, that was something that could really separate you from the masses because everybody wasn't going to college like that back then. And then I remember in the 80s, you had TV shows like A Different World came on, which was a huge inspiration for me, which, eventually led me to going to an HBCU. Shout out to Tuskegee University. But even before that, I remember as a kid, always being told, you're going to go to college, you're going to go to college, you're going to go to college. And truthfully, when I was in high school, I didn't even know what the heck I wanted to go to college for. I was just like, I guess I'm going to college because that's what I've been hearing all my life. That's on the TVs. Everybody go to college. And, this is what supposedly you're supposed to do to make it in life. So anyways, I won a scholarship and went to college and majored in aerospace engineering. All right. After college, I joined the U.S. Army and didn't even apply that degree. I went to IT when I joined the Army. And the reason why is because initially I had planned on joining the Army straight out of high school. That was actually my plan because one, I wanted to move out of my parents' house. And at the time, I didn't really want to go to college like that. But anyways, I'm saying all to say, older generations view college as to where they think it's a necessity that you have to do this, that, and the third to be successful. And when it comes to my own children, I have these little debates with my parents. They always tell me, oh, they need to go to college. They need to do this. They need to do that. Now, granted, I'm already paying for their college education, through the whole 529 plans and all that crap. But at the same time, college, in my opinion, is not a necessity anymore, right? What is a necessity to succeed in life is basically four things, right? And I've talked about this. I did a video on this months ago, a little short video, but this is my personal belief about how you can succeed in America if you just do four simple things in life. And what are those four simple things? First thing is you need to graduate high school and know how to read, write, and do math at a functional level. And when I say functional, I mean, can you go out there and calculate your paycheck? Meaning you work X amount of hours for X amount of pay. Can you do the math to figure out if you're getting paid correctly, right? Can you, when you look at your bank account, can you do some basic math to figure out if you got enough money to cover X, Y, and Z? Can you read a basic contract? Like, can you just do functional things in society to allow for you to remain functional as an adult? So graduate high school, read, write, do math at a functional level, right? Second thing you need to do, you need to avoid becoming a baby mama or a baby daddy. That's the second thing you need to do. Because you mess around and become a baby mama or a baby daddy, you're going to experience some financial woes in some form or fashion for at least 18 years, right? So if you plan on making kids, you need to go out there and make children with somebody you can see yourself being together with for a long time. Third thing you need to do, you need to avoid getting a criminal record. You need to avoid consciously doing things that you know damn well is going to put you in jail. Right? I'm not talking about speeding tickets. We all get those from time to time, although I haven't gotten a speeding ticket in over a decade. But if you're one of these little dummies out here, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to just go out here and rob somebody, put a pistol in their face and rob them. I don't want to hear you whining and crying when the sheriff come get you and lock you up, and then you in here complaining about racism, white supremacy, or the system holding you down. Look, I don't care. They need to hold you down. You shouldn't be sticking pistols in people's faces. You need to be held down, right? So that's the third thing you need to do. And then the fourth thing you need to do, and this is actually the most important in my opinion, the fourth thing you need to do, you need to learn a valuable skill set that somebody in society is going to pay you for, right? That skill set doesn't necessarily require you to go to college. It doesn't necessarily require you to go to community college, tech college, whatever. Listen, I got a dude that cuts my grass, right? He comes out here, cuts my grass. Because listen, I've been cutting grass since I was 10 years old. When I was in the Army, I cut a lot of damn grass, right? I'm 44 years old. I'm not going outside on no damn Saturday morning in this Florida sun, and I'm not cutting a damn thing. I'd rather pay this dude $100 a month to come cut my grass, right? So he cuts my grass. Matter of fact, I got to pay him tomorrow. Anytime I got some issues with my sprinklers, he'll get to digging up holes in the ground and fixing my sprinklers. He does this for me. He does this for the person that lives next door to me. And it's about 5, 6 other people in my neighborhood, maybe even 10 people that he does this for. And then he probably got about 5, 6 other neighborhoods, full about 5 to 6, 5 to 10 other people in each neighborhood, right? Why is that? Because my man's has a skill, right? He hops on his little lawnmower, smoking his cigarettes, and gets to hooking my lawn up so the HOA don't come around dropping little letters in my mailbox talking about I'm about to get hit with a fine, because I'm not going outside to cut a damn thing. So I'd rather pay this dude to do that. I don't know if this guy went to college, tech college, community. I really don't give a damn, be honest with you. All I know is he has a skill that I think is valuable, and I'm willing to pay him $100 just so I can sit in my house in the AC and be sleeping on a Saturday morning while I hear him zipping around cutting my damn grass. So I'm saying all that to say, you need to learn a skill, a valuable skill set that society thinks is valuable and people will pay you for, right? That's what you need to do. People who go to college, they're not learning this crap, right? I was at my uncle's barbershop. Matter of fact, my uncle, he's another great example. So my uncle, I got an uncle who's like 11 years older than me. He's my mother's youngest brother. My uncle got a mouthful of gold teeth, right? My uncle used to be a dope boy back in the day. He used to sell all types of drugs, been in and out of prison all through the 90s, right? Finally, in the early 2000s, he decided he was done being a criminal. Got out of prison. I think he got out probably like 2003 or 2004. He ain't been back to prison since, right? During that time frame, he became a barber, worked at various barbershops, perfected his skill. Now he's in the process of opening up his own barbershop with his daughter. And his daughter, she does hair and nails. So they're going into business with each other where, obviously he'll be cutting hair. She'll be in there doing nails, and they'll have other beauticians in there. Anyway, this is my family, right? My uncle, he learned a valuable skill because he got a lot of people that come through and he'll just hook their heads up. He be cutting hair like a mug, right? I've been telling this dude, we need to get you a social media account so you can really get it boom. But he don't want to do all that. Anyways, I'm saying all to say, one day I was at the barbershop and he had this little jit up in the chair, right? For those y'all who are from Florida, jit is just a young person, a little jitterbug. But anyways, he had this youngin' up in the chair, and this young dude was talking about he's going to FAMU. And my uncle was like, well, what you plan on majoring in, right? And the youngin' was like, yeah, I'm a major in music theory, and then I'm a minor in psychology, right? I'm listening because I'm waiting to get my hair cut. I ain't saying that. I should have said something, but I'm listening. And the whole time this youngin' is in here getting his hair cut, talking about he want to go to school to major in music theory and get a minor in psychology. I'm thinking he ain't finna do nothing but go to FAMU and party his ass off. That's what he's finna do. He's finna be at all the parties. He's finna be at trying to pledge all the damn fraternities, because that type of degree, those are the type of degrees, all you got to do is just write some BS research paper that might take you a weekend to write. And guess what? You at the club, you chilling. Because look, when I was in college, all the students who majored in like psychology, philosophy, one of them damn degrees, they stayed at every freaking party. Everybody that majored in engineering, architecture, some hard science, you rarely saw them at a party unless it was on the weekends, right? Because Monday through Friday, they in the damn library, they in the engineering building, the architecture building, working on the damn part. They don't have time to be partying and doing all this crap, right? But everybody else, they can write a little BS paper, or they can go out there and get them a little girlfriend and have her write the damn paper for them. And then they at the party just, throwing it up. So I'm looking at this youngin' in the chair. I'm like, this is exactly what this kid is going to do. And then once he graduates, I'm like, I don't know exactly where he's going to be working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you're going to do with a degree in music theory unless you plan on becoming like a high school teacher. And nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. But I don't know what he plans on doing with that degree other than being a high school teacher, or he going to be at Chipotle, putting beans on burritos. Like, I don't know what this guy is going to do. Now, I should have spoke up and said something, but I didn't know the youngin', and I didn't want to come in there flexing like, hey, youngin', I think you're about to waste your time and your money. You need to come learn this damn IT and stop playing games. But I ain't say nothing. But I just know based on experience, this is more than likely what he's going to do. He's going to go to college, waste his time. He'll probably graduate, but he ain't going to really do nothing. He's not going to really learn a hard skill that's valuable, and he's gonna be one of these people that this article is talking about, where he don't know how to survive in the real world. He doesn't have a real world skill. He's never developed any real world experience that can help him accelerate the process of becoming a fully functioning adult that isn't dependent upon mommy and daddy to help aid his development, help him survive and thrive. Right. Article says education today emphasizes theory over practice. It says, sure, learning Greek mythology is fascinating, but unless you're teaching it, how does that prepare you to communicate effectively in a corporate meeting or demonstrate professionalism? It doesn't. Yeah. I done met so many people from when I was in college, and even people I come across today that major in African studies, African American studies, right? And look, I always look at these people and I always say to them, I'm like, what are you going to do with that degree? Like, do you plan on getting like a doctorates in this stuff so you become a college professor? Because I don't know anybody who's hiring people in some type of history studies, African study. I don't give a damn what country or what region of the world. It could be Greek, like this article is talking. Like, who's hiring for this stuff, right? Who's really hiring? And then my thing is, do you really have to go to college to learn history? They got public libraries that are open for free with thousands upon thousands of books. You got online resources where you can just watch videos and tap into online databases and learn history to your eyeballs pop out your freaking head. I don't understand why people would pay thousands of dollars to go learn history when you can literally learn this stuff for free online, or just go to your public library. And this is also another thing I see with people who go to college for like psychology and things of that nature. I know one person. Matter of fact, there's a person on YouTube. I'm not going to say who this person is. This person has a pretty large following on YouTube, even though their channel is not monetized, but they have a psychology degree. And they always like to bring up the fact that they got a 4-year psychology degree. And I'm just like, what can you do with a 4-year psychology degree? I mean, unless you plan on going to the master's level or the PhD level, like I just don't understand what a 4-year, like why did you go to college for a psychology degree and you don't plan on going above the graduate level? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, that's what a lot of young people are doing. They just think, hey, I'm gonna get my 4-year degree and then come out here and take the pictures, the graduation pictures, and talking about, ooh, I's smart. I's a college graduate, but they don't know how to survive and thrive, man. They don't have a hard skill that the 21st century says you need to have if you want to be successful. And this is probably why you see a lot of them turning to TikTok and OnlyFans, because whatever. All right. Article says Driscoll said employers are now asking for skills not prioritized by the education system. Where graduates subsequently fall short, companies are not investing in training either. So they want you to come to these jobs with skills already in hand. And then he's saying that these companies aren't willing to invest. So I think you do need to come to these jobs with as many skills as you possibly can that match the job that you're trying to apply for. But also, if these companies, if they hire you and they're not willing to invest into you to help grow you professionally at that company by sending you to training courses related to the job that you're doing or the job that you're aspiring to do, if they're not willing to do that, then you need to question, why are you working for this company? All right. If you're going to go there and give your all, click clacking away, doing whatever the heck it is that you're doing to help make this company successful, profitable, so you can keep collecting your paychecks, but they don't want to invest time into you, whether you want to go back to college and get a degree because you want to move up into a management position, or you want to go get this certification because this can help your career, which ultimately helps the company, blah, blah, blah. If they don't want to do that, then you need to think about, what are you there for other than a paycheck? I mean, what are you there for? You can take your talents elsewhere to a company that is willing to invest into you, right? So keep that in mind. All right. Yes, that is a red flag, Earl. Big red flag. Says instead of teaching new hires what they want from them, employers are simply firing workers for not being prepared. It's a cyclical issue that reflects systemic failures on multiple levels. Says the larger disconnect between higher education and the workforce will likely not be solved without strong onboarding and mentorship to bridge the gap. Um, I think that's very important, having mentorship. Well, let me finish reading this. It says, not only are we creating a generation of workers who feel disillusioned and undervalued, but we're also stunting long term growth in the workforce. Gen Z is hungry for development opportunities. I don't know how true that is. But if companies keep treating them as disposable assets, we're going to end up with the workforce that's both overworked and underprepared. Says the solution is not to stop hiring people fresh out of school, but instead change how education and professional development are viewed. Companies are failing workers by not taking responsibility for training and hoping that a college degree can substitute. Says it never has, and in our current system, it never will. All right, so I think that's the end of the article. Um, One of the things I think young people need to do, they need to find a mentor, right? People who sign up for my IT course through my business, this is one of the main things that I actually offer, right? Um, so it's self promotion time over here, right? So one of the things that I do when people who sign up for my training, not only do they come through and learn all this stuff, I help them with the resumes, but the most important thing I do is try to offer these people mentorship. I got one particular student that I'm dealing with right now who's working two jobs and he's taking one of my courses. And I try to give this dude every bit of wisdom that I can impart into him to help this brother be successful, not only in terms of getting certified, but landing a job, doing everything I can, telling him about the ins and outs, the struggles, what to expect, what not to expect. I don't think a lot of people my age and older are really invested into these youngins like that for various reasons. Probably because they're not interested or they don't have time to do it or whatever the case may be. But if you do have the time to do it and the desire, and you can find you a young person to help them out because you see real potential in them, it's probably not going to hurt you to help this person out, especially if you have something of value that they can extract and apply towards in a tangible, in a manner that in a realistic, tangible manner, right? Meaning you teach them this, you teach them that, you tell them this, you tell them that, and they can take that, slap it on a resume, go get a job and start making some money. Like that. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you. Listen, we got a lot of dudes online. I was just watching this video last night, kind of everybody's like a subject matter expert on relationships, right? How can men get women and how can you get more women and do this? And then they all give these standard answers. Oh, you just need to go make more money, start lifting weights, and the women's will come out and choose you. It's like that sounds all good in theory. But how many of you dudes out there can actually teach these young men how to make more money? Instead of telling them to make more money, can you actually outline a blueprint? Hey, go do this, that, and the third, and you will make more money. It's like nobody can seem to do that, except for me and a few other people. But regardless, mentorship is important. So you need to, people need to be out there mentoring these young people because let me tell you, these youngins are lost, man. Part of it's our fault, the older generations, you know what I'm saying? We had these kids, we threw iPhones in front of their faces. And shout out to my man's here. I just did his resume the other day or a week ago, right? So, I'm out here. So let me go ahead and do some more self-promotion time. All right. So I do resumes, y'all. I help people with resumes. So let me go ahead and talk about this real quick. So people have been asking me to write resumes and do this for a long time, and I would do it on and off. It wasn't something that I was like, I'm gonna just invest a lot of time into. But lately, I've been writing so many listen, in the past 3 weeks, I've probably written about 15 damn resumes, right? And I'm not complaining. This is what I offer to do, but I help people out, right? So we're talking about I've been doing this for 20 years. I don't help so many damn people over the years with resumes get jobs. Like I know what the hell I'm talking about, what I'm doing. So, anyways, if you're one of these people out here and you need a resume done, optimized, or even if you don't work in tech, you're like, hey man, I just need a resume because I want to move up to a management position at Payless Shoe Store. Holla at your boy, and I will get you right out in these streets. Right? I got 3 levels of service here. Obviously, the They get more expensive, but you get more stuff the higher you go in price, right? But anyways, if you're interested in my resume services because you want to get a tech job popping, you want your tech resume revised, or you just want a resume in general because you know what I'm saying, you ain't got nothing going on in life, come holler at your boy. I'll hook you up for a price. And Amos, I did his resume about a week or so ago. He says, look at this. He says, yes, sir. I already got called after applying using the resume you assisted with. So my man sent me his resume. It had, it was pretty, it was decent for what he was doing previously. I'm not gonna, put his details out there, but obviously he wanted his resume revamped for a tech position because he was trying to transition, or he's trying to officially transition into a tech role at his current job, or the job he planned, or whatever. At his previous job, he was doing some tech things here and there, but it wasn't an official tech position, right? But now he's trying to transition into the IT industry as a legit full-time tech worker. And he sent me his resume. I looked at it, revamped that thing, gave him some suggestions on what you can do to advance your career, blah, blah, blah. Sent them this 9-page document back, right? So you guys send me a 1-page resume, I'm gonna send you about 9 pages of information back. That's how detailed I get with this stuff, right? 9 pages of stuff telling you what you can do to fix this, the problems that I see, how you can fix it. Here's a sample cover letter that you can use. Here's a revised resume based off of everything that you told me and the things that I've suggested on how you should look. Anyways, he took all that and look what he's saying. He's already starting to get calls for jobs, right? So, we out here doing things. I'm helping people. I watch all your courses before you put them on the paywall. Hey, man, I got to make some money off this stuff. So I used to get this stuff for free, away for free. But this stuff takes a lot of time and energy. So I had to put it behind the paywall. Look, the paywall, $10 a month for the A+ course on YouTube, $15 a month. You get to look at my A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, and whatever the hell else I decide to put up in there. I mean, I don't think that's asking for much considering the level of detail that I go into to ensure that y'all can pass these certifications, right? Like I go into some hella detailed stuff because I want y'all to be successful. And I don't want y'all just memorizing my stuff. My goal when I put these slideshows together, the real aim is to try to get you to comprehend. Do you actually understand what all this stuff means instead of you trying to memorize my bullet points? And that's another thing. That's the thing a lot of these youngins do, right? They'll try to memorize bullet points. Like they've been trained to do this since elementary school. Memorize bullet points instead of learning to comprehend the information, which I think can aid in memorization later on when it's time to test. But anyways, I just had to share that real quick. So anyways, getting back to this. Gen Zers, according to this article and 1,000 employees, y'all suck. And it's mostly y'all's fault. But here's the thing, man. I don't know why this is. I think it has to do with a lot with social media. Everybody's been glued to a smartphone or a tablet since they were in diapers. If you got a young child or you're around my age, you got a kid that's a teenager or something like that, we're all guilty of doing it, right? Go watch this YouTube video. Kids will stop crying and watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and you can go on there and do whatever the hell it is you was doing because your kid's being entertained. And then as the kids get older, they start looking at TikTok, Instagram, and everybody's taking the perfect pictures, living the glamorous life, and they all got money phones and taking trips. Nobody wants to work, and they want to do OnlyFans, and they want to do all this, that, and the third, and they just want to make $1 million off of online activities of just doing nothing, right? That's what they want. They don't want to go out there and actually have to work. I don't know how well that's going to work out for our country as a whole moving forward. I don't know how well that's going to work out, right? Unless you got some type of crazy skill, like you came out the womb dunking basketballs, like you're LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, or you got some crazy musical talent like Beyonce, Chris Brown, or something like that. Like the majority of you are going to have to go out there and learn a skill. You can go to school and learn whatever you want to learn. I want to go learn Greek mythology. That's fine, but you need to learn a skill that's going to pay. I'm not telling you not to learn Greek mythology and African American studies and all that stuff, but you need to be very realistic about your employment opportunities and income earning potential. You need to go learn a damn skill that's going to actually put some money in your pocket, right? Now, I obviously preach and teach tech, IT. Tech ain't going nowhere. As long as we got electricity from dead dinosaurs and computers, IT ain't going nowhere, right? I don't care what you see in the news when they talking about, oh, everybody's getting laid off and fired. And I don't want to hear that crap, right? When it comes to tech, that may be true, but there's always somebody hiring because every industry, there's a tech component behind it. There's some cybersecurity guy out there. There's some help desk person out there. There's some database person, some cloud person. It's just a matter of, do you qualify for the job and can you get in where you fit in? And more importantly, can you pass these damn job interviews? Do you got the social skills, the soft skills to where people actually like you enough to want to hire you? All right. I'll give you an example. So the job that I work at, right? I was already working another job. I used to work downtown where I used to help design databases, right? Making more money than what I currently make now, right? I'll explain this in a second. I was making more money and I decided, hey man, I seen this job posting. It was like, hey, we want to hire an IT cybersecurity instructor. I was like, I can do that. Let me just go out there and do it. So I threw the resume out there. They called me in for the job. I didn't even show up to the first interview, right? I was like, I think I just totally forgot about it because I got busy doing a project. They called me back. I was like, oh crap, I did apply to this company. So I went down there and did a job interview. No lie, I get to the job interview. I already knew I qualified to get hired. We're in there doing the job interview. They're asking me all these questions because I had prior teaching experience when I used to be in the Army. I used to teach IT in the Army for like my last 4 years. So I had taught already hundreds, if not a few thousand people. So I already knew what the hell to expect. I go to the job interview. Do you know I'm literally in the job interview cracking jokes on the person interviewing me? Like they would ask me a question, and this person became my boss later on, but they was asking me questions, and I was just in there kind of real lackadaisical. I started clowning the person interviewing me because they said something that I thought was funny, and I started roasting my interviewer, right? I mean, I didn't get vicious with it, but I just started pointing out things, and they were laughing and giggling. And the reason why I did it is because I was like, I don't really need this job. I already got a job. I'm just here on my lunch break because I ain't got nothing else to do. And I put it out there, and I'm gonna come through an interview. But so I left the interview. I'm thinking, yeah, there's no way in the world they're gonna hire me. Do you know these people hired me? They called me like 10 minutes later talking about when can you start. I was like, what? I'm like, I'm in here roasting y'all up, and y'all still want to hire me? But anyway, so I ended up working there. And then eventually I left the other company and I started working full time. Now here's what happened. So I took a pay cut. So some people are like, well, why would you do that? You were making all this other money and you took a pay cut. So here's why I tell people that, because I got to explain this to my students. I only work 9 months a year. Right? I'm off every summer, like clockwork, religiously. So I got 2 months off in the summer. I got 2 weeks off during winter break. I got a week off during spring break. I get every freaking federal holiday off. So you add up all that time off, including weekends. I only work 9 months out of the year. And then I have so much, and then I get off at 3:00 every single day. And then I have so much damn downtime that I can invest into my own business on the side. Right. I mean, I already had started my business before I started working there, but now I get to really invest into it. And they all know what I do. My other job, even though they were paying me way more money, I was in that office, 9-10 hours a day, staring at computer screens and had nice views. I worked downtown and we had some very nice views, but man, I was in that mug 9-10 hours a day, just staring at spreadsheets, tech manuals, running back and forth, talking to the database developers. I only got maybe how much PTO did I get off each year? At max, maybe 15 days a year. If that, I'm kind of at the point, and this is what I tell young people, man. I'm at the point in my life. I want to chill, man. I want to have more time and flexibility and freedoms to kind of do what I want to do, right? I always tell young people getting into tech, especially these 18 to 20 something year olds, go out there, get them damn jobs that pay all this damn money. Yeah, you're going to be working some crazy hours. You might be on shift, you might be on call, but man, stack up as much money as you possibly can in your earlier years so that when you staring at 50 years old like me, hopefully you got enough money stashed in the cut to where you can pull back some. You'd be like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I don't want to be running and gunning, chasing 150, $200,000 jobs that require me to be there 8, 9, 10 hours a day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm at that point in my life now. I'm like, I just want to chill, man. You know what I'm saying? I can always make up the money that I'm losing through other ways, which I actually do, but it doesn't require me to be stuck in an office 8, 9 hours a day and then dealing with, traffic for 30 minutes to an hour a day. So that's part of the reason why I do what I do. Plus I'm really good at it. But while you're young, go out there and make the big bucks, man. But the thing is, if you want to make the big bucks, Gen Z, you guys got to learn a skill. Go get your education, do all that fly stuff, get degreed up. I don't care what your degree is. Well, I do care, but pick a degree that you're more than likely going to be employed in that field. That's what I'll say. But even while you do that, you need to learn a hard skill, right? Whether it's IT, cutting hair, I don't give a shit what it is. You need to learn something that society thinks is valuable enough to pay you. Because you go out there and work at these companies, they'll promise you the world. Oh, you get to come work at Google. We got slides. You can, like, if you guys remember Google, you go look up some old pictures of Google from back in the day, a couple of years ago. They literally got slides in there. People can just slide. If you want to go from the second floor to the first floor, instead of you hopping on the elevator or the stairs, you can just get on the damn slide and slide down the damn slide. And then you slide into a room and there's somebody, whipping up some damn sushi for you. Just all types of crazy stuff. They got beanie bag chairs all over the place. So anyways, these companies, they'll promise you the world and all this other wonderful stuff, but at the same time, they will fire your ass with the quickness like they never knew you and replace you with somebody else. And the only thing that you can do is to protect yourself from that is you got to learn a skill that is highly in demand and is transferable, whether it's transferable to another industry, another job, or transferable in terms of you starting up your own damn business, which I think is probably the best thing most of y'all should consider once you get enough time and experience in doing whatever the hell it is that you're doing. That's what I think you should do. You cannot go to these companies hoping and praying that they're just going to take care of your every need in life. Like you don't have to invest into yourself. Oh, I just went to college. I got a degree. That's all I need to do. That's not how this works, man. You need to invest in yourself, keep investing, keep learning, keep trying to strive for greatness in the event that, these companies don't want you or they let you go or you get enough nerve and confidence to go out there and start your own thing. Because that's just the world that we live in. And all this little, limp wrist action when y'all shaking people's hands and staring at the ground and whispering and talking, when you're talking to people, none of that's going to fly, man. All of y'all are loud as hell any other time of the day. Y'all put them damn headsets on your ears and get to playing them damn video games. Y'all be loud as, listen, I can hear my son, my oldest son, he does that, right? Matter of fact, where I'm sitting at in my office, let me see, this wall behind me is my garage. On the other side of that wall where the garage is, his room is above the garage. When my son is in there playing his little video games with his homies, oh, he be loud as hell. Like you have to go in there and tell him to shut up. But any other setting, and this is like I said, this is applicable for all these youngins. Any other setting, they just like to whisper and just be talking like this. I'd be like, bruh, first off, I got slight hearing loss due to my time in the military, right? I can't hear a damn thing you're saying. And then you go into a job interview talking like that, head all down, looking all crazy and goofy, and then you don't brush your hair, brush your teeth and all that. Nobody's going to want to hire you, man. But then what happens? They're going to go online, start whining and crying about, oh, racism, sexism, they're gonna hit you with some type of damn ism out there. And it's like, I don't know if it's really an ism, it's just a you. It's just a you thing, man. Like nobody wants to be around that crap, man. And I'm just keeping it a buck. But anyways, this is why y'all this is why these companies are firing y'all, man, because y'all, a lot of y'all suck. Now, hopefully, y'all don't take offense to me saying y'all suck, but I'm ex-military and that's how we talk. But hopefully you can use this as motivation because you don't have to be that way. These are things that can actually change. Right? These aren't like ailments you're stuck with for the rest of your life. These are things that you can actively work on to improve. You can actively learn a new skill set. You can actively go out there and try to apply that skill set and do some things. You can actively work on your confidence in talking to people, learning how to look people in the eye. Go out there and lift a couple weights. So when you shake somebody's hand, you can put a little grip on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can actively do these things. It's just a matter of, do you want to do these things, or do you think that the world is just going to open up to you and you're just going to be given a whole bunch of money and fame and all this just because you're you? There's 1,000 yous out there, 1,000,000,000 billion yous. What makes you special from the other person, who's the same you? You need to do something else. So anyways, I just want to share that companies are quickly firing y'all. It doesn't have to be that way. Y'all can change it, but you got to want to change it. And those who are applying this stuff, these youngins, because there are some, I don't want to just make it seem like they're all like that. No, there are some youngins out there that are running circles around people my age and older and whatever. They out there doing the damn thing in life when it comes to IT and tech and stuff like that, or just working a regular job. So there are those out there, but I think, they're far and few in between these days. All right. But anyways, that's all I want to talk about, man. I want to come in here and run my mouth for a few minutes, even though I've been on here for like an hour and some change. So let me go through and read some of y'all's comments in case I missed something here. Shout out to Taylor. What's cracking? All right. She says they are pretty weird. Well, they're weird because I think we help make them weird. I think it's partly our fault. The hip hop culture ruined them. That's a sign that they have secrets. Look, I grew up in hip hop culture. All right. I don't think their version of hip hop culture is just as bad as ours was. I mean, their version of hip hop culture is stripper rappers and people popping pills and dying like Rich Homie Quan. But you got to remember, when I was a youngin, I was how old was I? I was like 12 years old when Dr. Dre's The Chronic came out. I was listening to Dr. Dre talk about rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat like that. And Snoop Dogg's, you know what I'm saying? Doggy style. I was listening to all that crap. I turned out all right. I didn't go out there and want to be a, try to be a gangbanger. Let's see. It's not the institutions, it's the entertainment business. Their brains are unlocked. They've just been dumbed down. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But I don't think that's just applicable to them. I mean, this is apparent in people my age group as well. Their brains are being dumbed. Social media is making people stupid. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Look, you just gotta, I'm not saying that you gotta throw social media away. Obviously, it is a invaluable tool if used the appropriate way. And yes, you should be able to watch social media and have fun listening to, your stuff for entertainment. I'm not telling you to get rid of that stuff. But the problem is I think people place too much, they're not balanced, right? When it comes to social media, meaning all they do is watch entertainment, gender war content, woe is me content, just crap that can't help them in their real life. But the stuff that they should be watching in their real life, they don't even invest. They invest hardly any time into that at all. I'm not saying that you need to be watching Tech G and IT channels every single time you open up a YouTube app, although that would be great, but that's not, I don't even watch IT stuff that often, right? And I'm an IT person, right? But I also don't spend all my time watching woe is me, gender war, just this crazy crap. I try to keep my stuff somewhat balanced as much as I can. Where I'm utilizing social media to learn something, whether it's related to my professional development, personal development, my business development, or just something that's just interesting and different versus me watching ratchet stuff all the time. He says it's kind of difficult to unlock their brain when they can use Chat GPT. That's potentially an issue, but I think Chat GPT and other AI programs like it, like what's that other one? There's another one. Well, there's a few of them out there. But anyways, though they need to learn how to utilize that stuff as tools to help them instead of just solely relying upon it to do the quote unquote thinking for them. Because matter of fact, I know down here in Florida, I don't know if this is nationwide, but I'm pretty sure it's the same in other states. They actually have Chat GPT blocked in educational institutions, like high schools and stuff like that, because they're worried that kids are going to be just strictly reliant upon the AI doing the quote unquote thinking for them instead of them learning to comprehend information. So that's a real possibility. All right. It says, yeah, I see them here. Yeah, all these kids, man, they don't really have any pride in their appearance as far as their physical, them not physical, but them dressing up. They literally look like they just rolled out of bed. Like literally, I'm talking about rolled out of bed, threw their slippers on, grabbed their book bag, and went out the door. Right? Because where I live at, there's a high school literally like down the street from me. And I always see these when I'm going to work. I see these kids walking back and forth to work all the time. I mean, walking back and forth to school. The majority of them look like they literally just got out of bed, didn't even wash their face, brush their teeth. They just rolled out of bed. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. Back in the 90s, when I was in high school, man, you come to school looking like that, you was getting roasted up all day long. Like, we didn't play that. But that was a different time. What's up, Super Meow? Says Gen Zers appear to be the least attentive when I give advice. Been telling them how I went from help desk to cloud engineer in under 3 years, yet they never hit the books and never get promoted. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a combination of laziness and, well, laziness. I'm trying to think. It's a combination of laziness and maybe they don't understand the value of putting in work. They come from this generation where everybody is being trained and conditioned by society in large to where they think that they should just have access to stuff just because they were born. Just because I'm born and I'm a human being living on this planet, I should just be able to get access to all this stuff and everything should be free and given to me. It's like, that's not how a functioning society works, man. I mean, you're gonna have to, some things should be free, depending upon what it is, but you're gonna have to go out there and put in work for what you want. I remember I was talking to a young matter of fact, here's a good example. So there's this person I was talking to, and they was trying to tell me why this person like 19, excuse me, 19, 20. They was trying to tell me why they favor communism over capitalism. Right. And so I asked the person, I was like, explain to me what communism is. And they get this whole speech about how, everything's equal, equity. Everybody starts at the same point, ends at the same point. Everybody got, access to all this crap, all the talking points, right? So I give this person an example. I was like, all right, let me show you how this works in a language that I can understand and you can understand. I was like, let's just say you and this other student, y'all are both applying to college, Harvard University. You've been busting your ass, right? Getting tutors, exam preps. You got a 4.0 GPA. You taking all these AP classes. I mean, you going all out to get the highest grades. You doing all these extracurricular activities to what I'm saying, to present this well-rounded image so you can get accepted into Harvard. Then you got this other person over here. They don't do nothing. They come to class, go to sleep. They got D's and E's and F's, and they don't really care about school like that. But y'all both apply, and y'all both get accepted on a full scholarship. So I tell the person, I'm like, do you think that's fair? Of course, this person says, "No, that ain't fair." I'm like, why is that not fair? Just because I had to work and bust my ass and do this and they didn't do nothing. But I'm like, well, that's and when I hear you talking about communism and everybody should have the same crap. That's kind of what it sounds like you're advocating for. So I don't understand how you could be mad about the person who didn't do anything, who didn't put nowhere near the amount of effort you had to put into to master whatever it is you're doing, but they're getting the same result as you. I mean, that's what you're advocating for. So, anyways, I just think it's a bunch of unrealistic expectations combined with laziness, and also that these young people just think that the world is their oyster and they don't have to really do anything to go out there and earn their keep. They should just be giving it to them because they're them. That's it. I was born. I'm entitled to the $500,000 house because I was born. I can breathe air. I'm a human being. I deserve all this crap. I don't have to go out there and learn how to become a cloud engineer. Why? Why should I have to learn that? I got my A+ cert. I should be making $200,000 a year working as a help desk person who's only been working there for 3 months. That's what I should be doing, right? That's their mentality, man. But it is what it is. They say they the future, though. Who's going to be in these political seats in 30 years? I don't know. In 30 years, I'll be in my 70s. If I'm still alive, ain't nothing I can do at that point. I just hope that in 30 years, I got enough money saved up to where I ain't got to be standing in Walmart waving at people coming in and out of the store. No shade to people who do that, but I'm just saying. I just hope at 70, I'm not passing you Happy Meals through the McDonald's window. I'm trying to be chilling somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Counting down the days till I go to the upper room. Yeah, once again, shout out to Amos. Like I say, I hooked him up with his resume. He says he's getting results. So once again, you guys want to take advantage of that, I'll post the link. I help people with resumes, and I'll do my best to get you right out in these streets, man, so y'all can go get a job. I'm not going to interview for you. I'll tell you that right now. Do you review technical papers? I'm writing a series on building a zero trust cloud environment, but no one to review critique before I publish it. I haven't thought about adding that, but I guess you can email what you got and I can take a look at it, and maybe I can give you some of my critiques. My email, I'll post it in the chat. It's techgclass@gmail.com. I mean, I used to review technical papers for a living. Like, I hated that crap, but as something I did on the side, and I never thought about that. But I can look at it and offer my input, and if you think it's valuable, you can run with it. Shout out to JM. Top-notch free content. I got back. What? Very top-notch free content I got back then from you. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I'm trying to help y'all out in these streets, man. All right, y'all. I'm about to chuck deuces. So it's 11:30. I gotta go stuff my face, man. I've been working out a little bit too. I know it don't look like it, but your boy has actually been working out. I actually lost 10 pounds last month, y'all. I was proud of myself, man. So I know it don't look like it, but trust me. You know what I'm saying? This dad bod is getting, we're going through the motions of turning this into a beach body. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. And part of that process is me eating healthier. And I'm not gonna lie, that's a struggle. So, but I have been working out, but I'm about to up it even more. Is the military getting softer with Gen Z? I want to say yes. I've been out the military for 9 years now, but based off of the things because I still got friends that are still in the military. So based off of the stuff that I see them talking about online, it appears that they're getting softer. I mean, they were getting softer when I was getting out. Like, I remember when I joined in 2002, it was nothing for a drill sergeant to get all in your face, yell at you, curse you out, call you every name in the book, right? Even threaten to fight you. Like, I never had to fight a drill sergeant, but there were some times where we thought it was about to go down. Like, they was about to hit the wood line and get to scrapping with the drill sergeants, right? It was like that. Nowadays, these trainees at basic training, from my understanding, you can't really yell at the privates, man. You know what I'm saying? They can hit you with what's called a stress card. Ooh, drill sergeant, I'm feeling stressed out. You're yelling at me. Like it's on some crap like that, right? Also, another thing when I was getting out the military, this was around the time when they were starting to let people, transgenders, openly serve in the military, right? So I remember I was pulling duty. This was like my last year in the matter of fact, this was my last year in the army. I'm counting down the days till I get out because I had got medically separated due to injuries, right? So they got me pulling duty in the barracks, watching the privates. So the privates, they don't be in there burning the damn building down, right? So I'm pulling duty. First floor is for the females only. Second and third floors for the males, right? No females are allowed to go to the male floors and vice versa unless there's a legit reason and they're being escorted up there by either a drill sergeant or a platoon sergeant or the CQ guy, which was me, right? So, anyways, one day I'm on CQ. It's a Friday night. It's probably like 8 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock, something like about 7 o'clock. I'm at the desk because where the desk is, you can see the front door, you can see the hallways and all that crap. I see this female come downstairs, right? Got the mini skirt on, the heels, the little tight blouse looking thing. So I'm a staff sergeant E6 at the time. And I'm just like, I say to this person, I know damn well ain't no females coming from upstairs. So I'll get the snapping. I'm about to start flipping tables over. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what are we doing? Female turns around. Oh, that's private such and such. I look, I was like, what the hell? I said, what the hell? And so I was like, oh, okay, carry on. Carry on. Because here's the thing. Around that time, they changed the rules, right? And look, I'm getting out the military. I don't care what the damn rules are because I'm getting out. You know what I'm saying? I'm already mentally checked out. So apparently the rules had changed to where they allow, people to express themselves openly, right? And so guys, if they want to dress as women, do the whole transgender thing, whatever the hell they call it. I don't freaking know. I don't care. Anyways, they were free to do that. But it caught me off guard because I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So has that made the military soft? I don't know. I'm just saying, as I was getting out, like I said, I got out November 17th, 2013 was my last day in the military. A year or two prior to me getting out, all right, especially after I came out from Afghanistan, I just noticed things started. There were a lot of things were changing that I used to question, like, wow, they really doing this? Or wow, they letting the privates get away with this? Or wow, you can do this now, or you can do that now. So maybe that has created this environment of people being soft or perceived as being soft these days. And I'm not saying that all the changes are bad, because there was some crazy stuff that went on back in the days that should have never been tolerated. But at the same time, there are some things that I look at like, wow, that's different. I don't know if I can co-sign all this stuff, but that's different. So it is what it is. What's up, Cyrus? What's up, all things Nata Jean? They don't do the shark attack anymore at basic. I don't know. I ain't been to basic training in over 20 something years. Just get in the calorie deficit, walk 10,000 steps a day. Oh yeah. No, I lift weights. I got, like I say, on the other side of this wall is my garage, and I have a gym in there. My wife uses it way more than I do, but here's the issue with me, right? So the only time I can actually work out, I have to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30, because I got to be to work at 7:30. And then, I work. After work, I got to shuttle my kids back and forth to their activities. And after I do that, I come home. Sometimes I got to attend to my online students through my business. Or if I'm not doing that, I got to do things for my business, like update course materials, update this, at the third. So by the time I get to bed, man, it's like 11 o'clock at night. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll be tired as hell or whatever. So I know I'm making a bunch of excuses, but the thing is, I'm not a morning person. Even though I was in the army and I used to get up mad early, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I've never been a morning person. I always it was the worst thing in the world for me, right? Because I always go to bed late. I'm just a late owl, whatever the hell the damn term is. I like to stay up late because I feel like that's when I'm most productive is when it starts getting later in the hours. For some reason, I can just focus on everything. But unfortunately, I have to get up mad early in the morning to work out. So for the past month or so, it's been it's been a struggle. I've been getting up most of the time. I mean, there'll be 1 or 2 days I do skip, but getting up, working out, lift weights. I try to do some cardio in the evening when I can, i.e., walking. That's because I do a lot of walking slash. I'm trying to train myself back into running again. Um, and then I have been eating healthier. Now, that's the biggest struggle because healthy food sucks. I'm not even gonna front. I mean, I like greasy pizza. I like chicken wings. I like hamburgers. I like all the stuff that'll give you a heart attack. All that stuff tastes amazing. I'm a huge fan of Cold Stone ice cream. I love freaking ice cream, right? I'm a huge fan of all that stuff. I'm a huge fan of the Waffle House. God damn it. The Waffle House is the greatest breakfast restaurant in the world, right? I'm a huge fan of these things. But I know I have to restrict eating that stuff. And it's hard. It's hard. Healthy food sucks. It just doesn't taste good. I like it. I like sugar and salt. It tastes amazing to me. But I know I can't eat that stuff and lose weight and get this beach body that I want to have. I just want to go outside with my shirt off and my muscles glistening. That's all I want to do. I ain't did that in years. You know what I'm saying? But eating the stuff that I like isn't going to get me that, especially at 44 years old. Now, when I was in the army, I used to eat that crap religiously. Man, I lived that Popeye's chicken. I lived that Waffle House. That's all I ate. But I was also burning 1,000,000,000 calories a day because I was young and in shape and doing all this crazy crap. I'm older now. I got injuries. I ain't moving like how I used to move. Matter of fact, I woke up the other day, my damn leg, my knee was hurting. Listen, I'm at the age now where I make sound effects when I get up and sit down. I get up, I'll be like, ooh, ooh. I'm at that age. I'm like, man, I turned into one of them dudes, man. But I got legit injuries and stuff like that. Damn knee hurts like hell. But so it's a little bit of a struggle. But even with that being said, the biggest struggle is the food, man. So we're slowly getting there. Like I say, my wife, she's been in there. She boils me some eggs. She makes me these little healthy smoothies, where some things be slapping too. I eat these little protein yogurts, bananas. I've incorporated more fruit, so I eat a lot of tuna. So I've been eating healthier and healthier lately. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been a struggle. Because look, some days I'll be at work, coworkers be bringing in the crispy. Oh God, listen, there's a Krispy Kreme down the street from me, and the hot lights be on by the time I get to work. Some of my coworkers be bringing in these damn Krispy Kremes, and look, them Krispy Kremes be calling my name. They be like, you want some? I be like, I sure do. But I can't do. So I got to sit here and pretend like my hard boiled egg is a Krispy Kreme donut because I want one of them damn donuts so damn bad, but I have to eat this damn hard boiled egg. So it's a struggle. It is a struggle. Your boy likes tasty food, so I'm getting that under control. But it's a struggle. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's a struggle. So, but we slowly progressing. Like I said, I lost 10 pounds because look, back in July, I went on an 8-day cruise in the Caribbean. Oh, I was getting it in. I had the drink package. I'm over there just chugging it up. I was drinking so much on the cruise, I messed around and got dehydrated and sick one day. I was getting it in, right? But then I was like, after this cruise, we're gonna start working out. It's kind of like a person abuses a bunch of drugs before they go into rehab. I was like, I'm finna eat everything I can. Then I'm going to the gym, i.e. rehab. So during August, I lost 10 pounds. I started working out, going to the gym, in my garage gym, lifting more weights, walking around more. Me and my wife out there walking. And that's another thing. My wife, man, she is a power walker. Man, let me tell y'all something. My wife, her walking skills compared to mine are amazing. This woman will start walking 20 minutes. She about 2 miles down the street. I'm just like, I like, how do you walk this fast? You know what I'm saying? She out there walk. The old ladies be passing me, and I be like, man, this is crazy as hell. I'm out here huffing and puffing, out of breath. I'm just like, I'm really out of shape. So, anyways, I've been working on that, working on the running, working on the eating. And I messed around. I lost 10 pounds, man. And I felt proud of myself. I looked at that scale. I was like, yeah, 10 pounds down. So now, I'm trying to maintain that. So I've been working out some more, and now I'm starting to increase my workouts because the last month was really just getting my body back accustomed to working out. So now that I'm kind of falling into the rhythm, now I was trying to increase my workouts and just do the things that I know I should be doing. But that eating healthy part, that's the struggle because good God, man. I'm supposed to go out to eat this weekend with my sister. And they want to go to this one restaurant where the food is anyway, so I'm getting there. Anyways, y'all, I'm about to go eat. I'm hungry. I gotta go in there and eat some tuna and crackers. Buy the Halo Top brand of ice cream. It's so bomb. It's only 290 calories. Look, there's a Cold Stone ice cream. Literally, I can walk to it. I thought about that. I was like, what if I just walk to Cold Stone? Will that qualify as part of my 10,000 steps? There's a Cold Stone literally right up the street from my house, man. Them jokers know me on a first name basis. As soon as I walk in there, they know exactly what I want. Because I used to go in there once a weekend. I want that. Give me that on the wall right there. So I don't know, man. Does it taste like Cold Stone? If not, I don't know if I can rock with it, but I might try it. All right, y'all. Have you considered comparing junk food to computer viruses that you can avoid it? I have never considered doing that. Because see, I can taste junk food. I can't taste the computer virus. I can just turn the computer off, unplug it, or run a scan and get rid of that. And, I don't have to think about it. Junk food, I can smell it, taste it, look at it. Just right there in front of my face, man. All right, anyways, I'm out, y'all. So shout out to Gen Z. Once again, if y'all need some help, man, resumes, I got you. Hit the link below. It will say IT study materials, study materials on deck, resume services. Or if you just want to holler at me through a consultation, I'll holler at you with that. As well. Also, one last thing. The new CompTIA Tech Plus certification came out. I'm actually creating content for that right now. That'll be a free course. That's like the new version of the IT fundamentals. And then I'm also still working on finishing up the Security Plus stuff as well. And then that's pretty much where we're at. Other than that, y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.